Alters a little bit, puts the hammer back down. Oh, Marshall goes wide again. That's going to open the door for Dave Steedman.
Steedman tucking up underneath. Will this be Dave Steedman's first ever D1NZ win? They power out of the hairpin. I think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, we had some awesome battles at Manfield and managed to come away on top. It was a real highlight. Hadn't even had a podium up until that round, and to put it straight up on the top set, you know, really wrapped with that. Turbo upgrades and everything like that were fantastic, and when coming into Manfield we just dry sumped it, and man, it just took care of all of our oiling issues that we've had in the past, and really gave me the confidence in the car, so I think that really played a bit of a role in getting on the top.
After round 2 at Manfield Circuit, Chris Amon, Team DSR's Dave Steedman bumps up into 3rd place in the series points.
Leading the championship, though, was Cole Armstrong, the Nissan 250 GT Skyline, drawing first blood at the opening round. Former Drift King Darren Kelly right behind him in the Nissan R35 GTR.
The competition heats up for round 3 as Australasia's best drifters visit the Bay of Plenty, a brand new custom course inside ASB Baypark Stadium. This is the Demon Energy D1NZ Drifting Championship Series.
Well, welcome to ASB Baypark Stadium. It's round 3 of the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series. Kenny Ruddle joining myself, Steve Daniel, as we bring you coverage from yet another amazing custom drift circuit.
Cheers, Steve, that's right. Yet another first for the Southern Hemisphere, if not the world. D1NZ bringing a fully blown drift course inside the Baypark Family Speedway.
After round 2, Cole Armstrong leads the championship title race with 169 points. The V Energy 250 GT Skyline will be a hot favourite this weekend. Armstrong helping with track design as well as competing in front of a home crowd.
Real looking forward to Baypark coming up. As I say, I've put a lot of thought into the track. It didn't quite plan out exactly what we want, as it was, you know, very expensive being concrete, but hometown there. Massive stadium, a lot of people are going to be there. It's going to be awesome. I'm really hoping we can put on a good show and get that top spot. It'll keep our championship rolling on forward.
With a huge victory at Baypark last year, the People's Champ Nico Reed is another strong contender for round 3. Looking forward to competing on the brand new track layout.
I love the concrete jungles, and just to be in a little place like that, sticking it to the wall, you know, it's amazing for not only drivers but the crowd as well.
Well, 3rd in the championship, Team DSR's Dave Steedman is eager to compete in front of a home crowd after scoring his first ever round win at Manfield.
Another stadium round. It's just going to be fantastic and really good for the sport. All the friends and family come out. We love Baypark. It's obviously our home track, and we always it's one of our favourites on the calendar for sure.
Also bumping up into the championship points is Team ATJ's Tom Marshall, a new 2JZ engine package helping score a podium finish at round 2.
Yeah, no, that was my second podium in D1NZ Pro. I was wrapped, Dave, to come 2nd place. With the 2JZ engine package was awesome, you know, just to have that little bit more power and more torque. Just made the car a whole lot better. You could dial more grip into it and keep up with the top guys.
2-time New Zealand champion Thanger Dan Woolhouse has been another driver to taste victory at Baypark. The V8 pilot keen to get amongst the concrete jungle.
It's the first time we're actually going to have a proper wall ride, not just coming up to a wall and touch and go type thing. So yeah, really looking forward to pitching in. I know the track's got a little bit of camber, a bit of rake on the going up to the wall. So I guess the biggest thing we need to look at is just getting the gearing right for a short run up and then straight into that wall ride. So that's going to be the #1 key to getting the car set up for that.
Round 3 saw a wildcard addition in the drivers' lineup. Australian drifting champion Bo Yates making his first trip overseas, piloting the Toyota's Galore GT86.
Yeah, I got my first stamp on my passbook this weekend, and just truly thankful to the guys at D1NZ for having me over, and obviously the guys at Toyota Galore for lending me the keys to the 86, and you know, the boys at DKM they're doing a fantastic job helping me out this weekend, pit the car and change the tyres, so my job's easy, I just got to steer the thing. And the guys are super aggressive over here, they drive really aggressive, they're pushing really hard this morning, especially on a fresh layout that no one really knows, but yeah, I'll be happy to try and get up nice and close and throw a spanner in the works, that's for sure.
Another spanner in the works is D1NZ veteran Andrew Redwood, a refreshed FC RX-7 making an appearance for round 3.
Yeah, I mean, we rebuilt the car last year and just gave it a fresh paint job, back to yellow. I've been wanting to do this graphic scheme for a while, so it's good to get that on board. A few of the guys, Club Auto, Achilles, Alpha Panel Beaters, you know, everybody else has jumped back in for the couple events I'm doing. It's an awesome venue, get inside a stadium. I've never drifted in the stadium before. I don't think any of these other guys have, besides round 1. And yeah, it's just cool to be out here, and hopefully we'll get to do some good battles tomorrow and bang some doors.
Well, a big contingent of local Tauranga-based drivers are in force this weekend. It was drama, though, for fan favourites Team DMNZ. Drew Donovan's Milwaukee Tools S15 out of action with an engine failure.
Yeah, a bit of a headache going on here. So he's just ended up with a blown engine, just in his first practice run, actually. And so we're actually looking around for a new engine at the moment. So, yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully we've got 2 cars going.
There was also plenty of drama for former champion Darren Kelly, sitting 2nd place in the series points coming into round 3. An engine failure at Mad Mike's Summer Bash put the Nissan R35 out of action for the weekend. Series leader Cole Armstrong offering up a drive in the V-Energy R34 Skyline.
To be battling him in the championship, basically. He's in first, I'm pretty close behind him in 2nd place, so it's a massive thing for him to even offer to help at all. It's a totally different car to what I was used to in mine, different steering setup, back to an old RB25 gearbox, so that's going to be a bit of a change again. Apart from that, it's a drift car. We'll get in there, we'll drive it as hard as we can and see how we go.
Well, it's time now to look at our judging elements for round 3. And our judging lineup starts with Brendan Dunker, the D1NZ veteran with 14 years of drifting experience, 35 points up for grabs.
Our angle judge for the weekend is Dan Mackey, based out of Sydney, Australia. Another 35 points up for grabs as he keeps a watchful eye on the angle criteria.
Our final judge is Pro Sport driver and D1NZ veteran Kyle Jackways, overseeing the style elements. 30 points to dish out to round out the total score of 100.
Let's take a look at the track rundown thanks to Mimico, and taking us for a hot lap around the custom concrete course here inside ASB Baypark Stadium is Pro Sport driver Cody Pullenbury in his 2JZ powered S15, one of the young rising stars in D1NZ.
He entered his first competition last year, taking home Rookie of the Year in the Pro Sport class, and this circuit here at Baypark is all about the big wall ride, a nice amount of camber as you get up on the bank, outside clipping points to start the course.
Drivers need to be up on the wall, full noise, and carry a smooth arc through the outside clips, switching on through to the first inside clip on the right-hand side.
Quick transitions though, it's right-left combination to the next inside clip. This is where the section gets very technical, reducing speed and momentum off the track to set up the last attack on the final clipping points.
Outside zone to the left before a final clipping point on the right-hand side around the Mimico digger to finish the course.
A quick look at our penalties for competition. 1 wheel off track is a points deduction, 2 wheels off track is a 0 score. As with a straight line, spins will also score a 0 and corrections result in deductions as the drivers navigate the course.
Battle criteria under the D1NZ rulebook sees the lead car set the qualifying line. It's up to the chase car to emulate, match and better the lead car performance. They must approach the rear quarter position using the lead car as a mobile clipping point.
And that's your track rundown thanks to Mimico. For all your industrial machinery imports, visit mimico.co.nz.
Well, qualifying got underway on Friday night, and at the top of the field it was Tom Marshall in the Evergreen Tyres S15 scoring 3rd place.
The car's going well. Yeah, I qualified 3rd, so I'm stoked with that. I need to win the battles now.
It was another S15 in the mix, this time the RB-powered machine of Nico Reid grabbing 2nd place. Another handful of championship points in the bag.
It's just epic being able to tip it in and just ride a wall for, 100+ metres. Just loving every minute of it.
On form in front of a hometown crowd, Cole Armstrong means business in the championship this year. The V-Energy Skyline grabbing pole position.
Unreal, we were able to manage to snavel up P1, just being real aggressive, but also a bit conservative where we needed to with not having to, shunt the wall, but we're just giving it a little love tap. So I'm pretty stoked to take P1.
So it's Armstrong right in the hunt with pole position, Nico Reid and Tom Marshall, Australian Bo Yates and Dane and Templeman rounding up the top 5.
Well, after qualifying, it's all about the top 24, the last chance dash to get into the top 16. The top 8 qualifiers automatically through to the next bracket.
That's right, Kenny. A good mix of drivers in this list, all battling for a ticket to the main show here at ASB Baypark Stadium.
The first battle up was a pair of LS V8s, Dylan Woolhouse in the NZKW RX-7 up against Joel Counter in the Achilles Radial Nissan S14.
It was a fair drive from both guys. Woolhouse qualifying 16th with Counter right behind in chase. It would be a victory, though, to Joel Counter, the former Drift South champion, moving through to the top 16.
Wild stuff from Stu Baker in the 1.5 JZ Privateer S13, leading out circuit racer Jerry Zhu in the NOB Building Supplies S15. Jerry too hard in the chase, causing contact. Stu Baker grabbing the victory.
D1NZ veteran Andrew Redwood making an appearance here at Baypark. The Miami Vice machine running nitrous oxide, giving chase to South Island favourite Phil Sutherland.
Huge angle from Phil Sutherland in the lead. He couldn't bring the switch together though, taking a spin, a 10-0 score, handing victory to Andrew Redwood in the Achilles Radial FC.
Gaz Grove in the CMP Construction Nissan S15 V8 took on Drew Donovan in the Milwaukee Tools 2JZ Supra.
Stepping into his partner's car, Team D1NZ's Drew Donovan, unable to source a new engine in time for qualifying. He put in a committed chase run, but unfortunately getting it wrong at the end of the section. Gaz Grove grabbing the win.
Tauranga local Ben Boucher made a one-off appearance at Baypark. The 24/7 rotary-powered FDRX7 putting on a dominating lead run over Bex Bennett. A tough day in the office for Bex in the Vehicle Inputs Direct R32 Skyline. Boucher moving through to the top 16.
Former Pro Sport champion Troy Jenkins took on Brad Smith. The Brian Roberts towing Nissan S15 leading out the turbocharged VQ35 Nissan 350Z.
It was a strong lead for Troy. Brad Smith trying to apply the pressure in the final section. It all went wrong with a spin. Jenkins through to the top 16.
The final battle of the top 24 was another wild show. Jody Verhulst in the Milwaukee Tools 2JZ Supra up against the Evergreen Tyres RB30 180SX of Joe Marshall.
Marshall trying to put on a quick lap. It was perhaps a little too much as his 180SX pushed too wide, sending two wheels off the track. A 10-0 advantage to Jody Verhulst.
In his chase run, Marshall threw it all on the line in a final attempt to get into the top 16. The advantage was Jody's to lose though, and she didn't give an inch. Joe Marshall spinning out victory to Verhulst in the 2JZ Supra.
And that's how they line up for the top 16. Stick around for plenty more action coming up after the break.
Welcome back to the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series. You're watching highlights from round 3 at ASB Baypark Stadium in the Bay of Plenty.
Yes, welcome back to the show. Right now it's time to check out highlights from round 3 of the Pro Sport Restricted Class.
Round 3 of the Pro Sport Series was the undercard to the main event Pro Championship. Another strong entry list serving up plenty of entertainment.
Bruce Tannock in the Achilles Radials Nissan S13 leads the series points heading into Baypark, double stinting his Pro Class S13 with the 235 control tyre.
It's actually it's a real bit of a challenge to throw them on, but it's as designed now. When they've gone to Pro Sport this year, being a restricted class as opposed to the feeder class, I actually presumed a few more people might jump in and have a crack, but obviously not so much. So there's Kyle, Jace and a few others with high-powered cars, so it's still really good. Traction is at a premium, obviously, so you wrap a 235 on it, and your wheel speeds go way up. Lots of smoke, lots of angle, but you've got to hang on to it pretty good, yeah.
Round 1 winner Kyle Jackways is at the pointy end of the title race once again, sitting second behind Bruce Tannock with the Colton's Motors 180SX, serving up plenty of battles for the series lead.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked at how the season started out so far. Obviously we got a win in Dunedin with some pretty emotional circumstances, and then to back it up with a third at Manfield was awesome as well. I mean, we've had 2 rounds so far and 6 battles with Brucey, so 1 each so far. We'll see how we go for the rest of the week.
The rising star of the Pro Sport Series is Cody Pullenbury in the Asset Maintenance Solutions S15, scoring Rookie of the Year last season and again battling for series title.
First round top 4, so we're happy with that. If we place well this round, hopefully we're up there in the points, so can't wait, bro. Hopefully get up there, move to pro next year if we do well, so see how we go.
The final 4 at round 3 saw Michael Thorley again putting on a good performance after round 2 at Manfield. Calvin Clark in the Prime Avocado C33 Laurel scoring pole position in qualifying and coming home with 3rd place for the weekend.
The final battle of the Pro Sport weekend was a battle of Nissan Silvia's another rising star Zach Barlas, shaking up the competition with Cody Pullenbury.
Cody putting on an aggressive run in the chase, the Impact Certifies machine holding on to a strong lead.
Well, it was a huge smoke show off the line for Cody Pullenbury, foot flat and plenty of aggression once again. The Asset Maintenance Solutions S15 setting a fast run in the lead.
Zach Barlas wasn't going to give an inch though, applying his own aggression in the chase, sticking to the rear of Cody Pullenbury. It all came apart for Cody at the Mimico inside clip, taking a spin and handing the round victory to Zach Barlas.
Cody's an animal, that boy.
With Zach Barlas grabbing the victory for the D1NZ Pro Sport Series. Cody Pullenbury in 2nd, Calvin Clark coming home in 3rd.
This bumps Zach Barlas into 6th place. Tannock still holding onto the lead from Kyle Jackways, Cody Pullenbury, Michael Thorley and Blair Gribble-Bowering rounding out the top 5.
Well, it was an awesome show for the Pro Sport class, but now it's time to get into highlights from the Pro Championship Top 16, the main show here at ASB Baypark Stadium.
A fantastic bumper crowd out in force, over 10,000 fans through the gates for the weekend, soaking up the sights and sounds.
The first ever indoor stadium drifting event in the Southern Hemisphere at Forsyth Bar Stadium opened the 2017 season, but it was D1NZ pushing the boundaries once again, laying a full customised concrete drift circuit inside ASB Baypark Stadium on top of the Baypark Family Speedway terracotta clay.
Well, this is how they line up for the Demon Energy Pro Class Top 16. Armstrong up against Joel Counter, Adam Davies and Stuart Baker, Danum Templeman up against Andrew Redwood, Australian Bo Yates up against Gaz Grove.
On the right-hand side, we've got Nico Reid and Jody Verhulst, Dave Stedman up against Ben Boucher, Tom Marshall and Troy Jenkins, and finally Dan Woolhouse and Chad McKenzie. But now it's a local favourite in the V-Energy 250 GT. It's Cole Armstrong against the South Island drifter, the Achilles S14 of Joel Counter.
Armstrong definitely the hometown favourite. Huge hit with the wall though, and that's upset his points balance for this battle in the lead. Joel Counter and the Achilles Radial S14 giving a very committed chase run.
Well, Cole Armstrong trying to close right up as we see and hits the Demon Cone coming through. That's going to offer a points advantage to Joel Counter.
And it was Joel Counter moving through to the top 16.
Well, this time we will see the Mimico 180 S6 of Adam Davies. He's going up against the Privateer, Little Stewie Baker in the S13.
The Mimico 180 SX 13B Rotary putting on a hell of a smoke show. Stu Baker went for the lead. Adam Davies, though, on the hunt. He was keen for a win in front of a home crowd, and he got it. Adam Davies taking the victory in the Mimico 180 SX.
Danum Templeman this time with lead out. Andrew Redwood in the Club Autos FC RX7. It's 2JZ power, 1,000 horsepower, but nitrous oxide will chase him down.
That's right, nitrous oxide being plumbed into the Achilles Radial FC RX7, but it was a spin for Danum Templeman in the lead. Andrew Redwood coming home with a 10-0 advantage. In the lead though, Danum Templeman again trying to apply the pressure. He threw everything on the line. It didn't come together for him. Again, 2 wheels off for the Pace Pools BMW. And Andrew Redwood going through to the top 16.
Well, here comes our Australian. He's come all the way over the Tasman, his first time in New Zealand. Bo Yates in the Toyota's Galore GT86. He's got the CMP Construction S15 right on his door.
Yeah, it was a wild run from both of these guys. It was shallow, though, for Gaz Grove. Bo Yates on the line the judges wanted to see, and that put him through with a victory into the top 8.
Well, it was the People's Champion versus the Tauranga local. Nico Reid in the Evergreen Tyres S15 up against Jody Verhulst in the GT86 Supra. Verhulst trying to get right on the back end of the big smoke show in front of her. It's Nico Reid leading the way. Mistake.
That's right, a huge spear off there for Jody Verhulst. The Mawakito Supra taking a tour of the grass, and Nico Reid coming home with the victory.
Well, the Tauranga driver's certainly trying to get to the pointy end of the field. We've got Dave Stedman, the Mimico Ryco 24/7 machine, leading the way from Ben Boucher in the FD RX7. Boucher trying to close the door this time. Right up he comes.
Steedman leading out the RB30 powered Mimico machine. Boucher putting on the pressure here in the final sector. Contact though, Steedman, mechanical issues, and that put Ben Boucher through to the top 8.
Well, Troy Jenkins, the next person to lead away, the Brian Roberts towing S15. He's got Tom Marshall in the Evergreen Tyres S15, closing right up on the door as they enter the first section.
Yeah, it was a sloppy entry though from Jenkins. He didn't quite make that arc through the wall, and the Evergreen machine of Tom Marshall just keeping it cool in the rear. He would have seen the mistake and applying the pressure through the chase, and then a spin in front of the Cabalco digger, and that would be a victory for Tom Marshall.
A man that needs no introduction. He drives his Century Batteries VF Holden Commodore. It's Fanger Dan Woolhouse. He's got last year's Pro Sport champion Chad McKenzie trying to come up. Shallow lines to come through for Chad McKenzie though.
Yeah, Fanger Dan putting on a good lead. Chad McKenzie right there though through the transition. Can he hold it together? Fanger Dan trying to pedal the big bad Century Batteries Holden Commodore. It's such a big car to throw around, but Chad McKenzie still right there. Now this was one of the controversial battles of the weekend.
Well, let's see the second pass. We've got McKenzie who'll lead the way. Fanger Dan wanting to close the door.
Fanger Dan right on the rear quarter. Chad McKenzie leading out real shallow though on the entry. Fanger trying to close up on the rear quarter. Chad McKenzie stacks on the angle, but then drama. Fanger door knocking with Chad McKenzie off the track, and Chad McKenzie would go through and take the victory.
On board with Fanger Dan Woolhouse. Let's see what happened as he comes through, closes up heavy contact into the door of the S14 of Chad McKenzie.
Just nowhere to go for Fanger, unfortunately, and that put Chad McKenzie through to the top 8, and this is what we've got lined up on next week's show.
Joel Counter goes up against Adam Davies, Andrew Redwood versus Bo Yates.
Ben Belcher and Nico Reid, Tom Marshall up against Chad McKenzie, and they will battle for the place in the finals, the semi-finals. We're going to battle down to find our winner. Make sure you tune into our show next week to see all the action.
Well, thanks for watching the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship, round number 3 from ASB Baypark Stadium in Tauranga. Tune in next week as we bring to you the greatest action from the concrete jungle here, ASB Baypark Stadium, the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series.